Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry I have rainbows. Well, actually, you shouldn't apologize you have rainbows, Kara, but that the sun is going to be in my face for part of this live. So if I'm going to do this a little bit, I apologize, just so I can see the screen. But happy Friday, everyone. I am excited because we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the frequently asked questions that we often get for the Mind Body Detox program. So feel free to enjoy and ask questions, and I'm happy to answer those live here at the end. But I'm going to go over first some of the common questions that we have for the program. But first, if you haven't met me before or worked with me, my name is Kara Lovehart. I'm the owner and operator of Firefly Hollow Wellness Center. I am an integrative psychic medium and an energy healer and a licensed massage therapist. And the Mind Body Detox program is not only my love and my joy and my passion, my way of life. It's really not a program to me, it's a way of living to really find a way for me that's customized as far as how to live a holistic lifestyle. But it's also something that's my contribution to the world to support us living in a more sustainable way with ourselves and with our environment, with our community, with our relationships, and all of that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what that is today and then just share really what the common questions are that we have when people ask, what is this Mind Body Detox program? And just the common things that we get. So if you're out there and you are live, because this is a live stream today, I would love to see you guys. Wave and say hello, send me an emoji. I'm really excited to answer your questions. And I'm going to do a screen share here. And if you are just joining, I hope you guys are enjoying the rainbows. They're going to be in my face a little bit, though. So I may be moving around so I'm not blinded by the rainbows today. All right. There we are. Cool. So keep in mind, if you have any questions, you can absolutely ask them in the chat, or you can send us a private message if you don't want to ask them publicly. That's perfectly fine. So first off, what is the Mind Body Detox program? That's pretty much the most common question that we get asked. What exactly is it? The program is a series of 7 different modules that basically address the foundations of health and wellness. And really, the reason why it's 7 is because we looked at what is the basic things that usually people struggle with that affect their mind, mental state, their body, the physical state, and the spirit or the spiritual space of the person. So those are 7 different things that I worked with over the years being a medical intuitive and being able to connect with people and see what's going on in their energy, what's happening. They're going through all the basic steps. They're addressing with their medical doctor, with either medication or getting blood work done, what's going on what else is going on here from maybe a mind body perspective that might be affecting their physical health that not able to address yet, or what's going on with this person in an emotional spiritual sense or mental sense that I can kind of sense here, and how can we support that. And so the basic foundations of the program are the 7 different things that I see that are commonly out of balance for people in their energy field or in their aura, if you want to call it that. And I wanted to figure out a way that I could help people to experience this for themselves, because some lady who claims that she's a psychic is going to tell you that your aura is messed up or your chakras are imbalanced or whatever woo-woo kind of thing you hear, right? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't help someone. It helps you more to understand and experience those things for yourself by being able to relate to symptoms, being able to feel it in your own body through whatever means is best for you, and to be able to understand that when you shift that, it is shifting your energy. Have the experience of your energy shifted, meaning you can feel tingling in your body, you can feel lighter, you can sleep better, your body can feel less in physical pain. You can have a sense of euphoria. There's a lot of different symptoms that people get when they start to tap into and pay attention to the subtle energy of their body, or the chi or the life force, we often hear it called. And we want to be able to get in tune with that because that is the foundation for health and wellness. That energy affects your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. So the 7 foundations we look at in the program are looking at how do we emotionally connect to ourselves and others? Are we imbalanced in how we give and we receive? How about our self-esteem? How about our willpower, our stamina? How about expressing ourselves and our life purpose? Purpose and meaning are very important to a human being. So if you have all the right diet, all the right exercise, and your body's pretty healthy, but you don't feel like you have a sense of purpose or meaning, you can feel spiritually sluggish or blocked. And that's a big part of our overall wellness that we don't always think about. Like, hey, I mean, I'm taking all the right things. My doctor says everything's great with my blood panels. I don't understand why I still feel, depressed or melancholy or down. Well, what about your purpose and your meaning? So that's a big part of foundation for energy management and then overall wellness. And then we have interpersonal. How do we interact with our energy and others and exchanging our energy with others? That's a really big part of our wellness, right? Relationships, but also relationship to ourselves. And then we look at the mental metabolism. We're calling these all metabolism because it's how do we metabolize or move energy through the body? Do we let it stagnate or get stuck? Do we have an overexpression of that energy source? So think about the person out there, whether it's yourself or friends or family, that they think too much, they're overly logical or analytical, or they're overly disassociated, or they connect too much maybe to the dream world and not really grounded in reality or the physical world. So those things are expressions of overactivity or underactivity, or what someone could say is a block in the expression or the metabolism of your chi, of your energy. And those affect the physical body. They affect your spiritual mental health. And then the last one will be, a seventh one we talk about is balance in trust and faith. And so this applies to whatever religious, spiritual belief system you adhere to. So those are the 7 foundations of the program. And we address these through multiple different ways. So when people say, well, what exactly is a program? It's these 7 foundations of health and wellness. We educate about them. We talk about ways that we can balance our energy, and that is using food, using recipes, using self-care, using mindfulness techniques, using meditation, using journaling, movement, stretching, but not all of those all at once. That's the key, because so many people are so used to a program that has strict protocols that they can't stick to. And so we introduce all of these different types of holistic tools that help address, again, those foundations, those 7 different things where you have overactivity or underactivity in your nervous system or in the expression of your characteristics as a person, and how are those affecting your eating habits, how are those affecting your sleep, your relationships. So what is really different about the program is, as a medical intuitive, I really saw a lot of these connections between the mind and the body that weren't being integrated in with mainstream medicine. So I thought, well, I had to find a way to be able to share the wisdom that I've gotten from being able to see people's auras and energy fields and see some of these hidden messages that people aren't aware of, and make it relatable and understandable, and something that my clients could experience for themselves instead of just someone else telling them. So the difference in the program is we don't have any strict supplementation. Diet change is not required. I'll say that again. Diet change is not required. When someone thinks a detox, they think they're going to be taking supplements, or they're going to be starving themselves or doing juicing or cleansing. And honestly, that's a part of the program if it's right for you at that time. Not everybody ever needs to do that. It's something that is not necessary, because if you're looking to detox your spiritual health or your sense of connecting more with your sense of purpose, that will not necessarily include food. It could if you wanted it to, but it doesn't always. So the program is different, that it's very customizable and it's really unique to who you are and your needs. It doesn't necessarily work with strict protocols that are like, you're going to do A, B, C, or D every single day, and this is going to change your life. I think that those types of programs can be beneficial for people, especially if you need structure in your life and that's something you lack. Having a program that's very rigid is very supportive for that, but it's not always going to be one size fits all. So this program is customizable and it will meet you where you're at, and it's very unique in that way. And of course, we're addressing the underlying foundations of chi, or energy imbalance, that affects all things. So I like to educate people in the program, again, to take some of these symptoms that we're having and how do they connect those, that they can experience for themselves, that, oh, wow, this mental state or mindset that I have is affecting my physical body and my digestion, or my issues with indigestion, or my issues with sleep. How do we make, we want to connect the dots for you. All right, so do I have to change my diet or purchase any supplements? Nope, not at all. When I was starting out on my journey with integrating in everything I had learned and I knew, I didn't want to do anything with diet. Most people don't. Why would you want to give up your coffee or your sugar or your cigarettes or whatever it is that is your thing? You know, sometimes in life we have our things. It might be shopping. It might be our, our Netflix, whatever it is that you have that's kind of your crutch that gives you a little sweetness in your life, because life can be chaotic, especially when you need a detox. You need to, you need to be more healthy or well, and you want to feel better. But those are those things that are very supportive for you at that time. They help you get through what you're going through. So I think that some people think they have to get rid of all that stuff. They have to purchase all these supplements that are expensive, and they need to, go all organic or all keto or a specific rigid diet. No, the main reason why people don't consistently stick to a lifestyle change is because they go gung-ho or 125% with supplementation or with diet change, and it's not sustainable. And at the end of the program, they just go back to where they're at. And I know I've experienced that along my journey so many times, and that's why I wanted to have something that was different. It's where your comfort zone is. Where do you want to push yourself? Where are you ready to, give? What are you ready to give up? And a lot of times before we give up sugar or caffeine or whatever it is that we believe our crutch is that we need to detox from, we have to integrate some more healthy foundational awareness of ourselves, some foundational tools that help us to see what is the next step. And we have to look at some of the mindset that we have. My journey was looking at my mindset, self-esteem, and loving myself, learning how to love myself before I was even ready to touch sugar. That's my toxin of choice, my crutch for years. It was sugar. I'm a recovering sugar addict. I still will identify as that. So I think that that's just really important to recognize that you don't have to change any of that. That's the most common thing I feel like people are asking me, because when we talk about detox, again, juicing, cleansing, supplements, no, not unless it's necessary for you at this time. Because the further you are along your journey, if you have done a lot of different things and you have maybe used holistic tools or supplementation or programs and you're ready to go deeper, then we would do something like that. And I'll talk about that in one of the future questions here. So I've never done a detox before while I experienced side effects. Do you ever hear of those people that do like a supplementation program where they juice or they restrict their diet and then they get acne and they get bad breath, they can't sleep, they get constipated, or changes in their bowels or whatever. You hear of all these different interesting changes or side effects that people get. So the side effects of the Mind Body Detox program, I joked that the side effects are, if you are working the program and really interested and intrigued in doing this stuff, the side effects are change. Like change your life, change your mindset, change your lifestyle, change your relationships. Your relationship with yourself will change. And that's the biggest foundation for every single thing in your life. When you can learn to really, truly love yourself, your actions, your behaviors, your patterns will change. And those patterns could relate to your diet. They could relate to your mindset. They could relate to your daily habits or routines. They could relate to your sleep. They could relate to your relationships. When you change that foundation, and when we look at the 7 foundations of your energy and managing it, everything changes. So I say the side effect mostly of everyone going through this program in general is change, and change that's positive in the aspect of where they're looking to go. Now, again, since this program is customizable, sometimes people will work with us just specifically with diet, and they get that customized approach, and we work with that. And some side effects, of course, is, hey, I'm having cravings now because I'm getting rid of sugar, I'm getting rid of caffeine. But just so you guys know that cravings are sometimes a sign of nutritional deficiencies. And, other than it being an associative pattern that you're like, I just am so used to drinking coffee or smoking cigarettes, or your body's doing a certain motion or repetitive pattern that it's used to, you can not necessarily have to have cravings when you're getting rid of certain substances. So there's protocols for that, which are really fun to have, so that you can work with not having to have a lot of negative side effects when you're doing a detox. Now, extreme detox is if you've ever done something like a colon cleanse or like supplementation, like these are the things that people usually try. They are used to getting the discomfort, and they like to put themselves through that hell. I always say, are you ready for extreme? Well, then go do a supplementation or go do a 20-day detox or something that's going to push you. Don't do this detox. It's not for you. We're not going to be having these extreme side effects. We're going to be having a slow and steady pace that's going to create sustainable lifestyle changes and sustainable vitality. And over time, losing weight, over time, affecting your behaviors for the better, for the good. So that's really what it's so interesting in our culture. We're so used to the get rich quick and the pill that's going to fix everything. And honestly, that's the biggest reason why people don't automatically sign up for the Mind Body Detox program. I'm going to say it again. People want the get rich quick and the pill that's going to fix everything. And honestly, that's why people are still kind of stuck in the hamster wheel of doing all the other things and wasting their money, because they're not really ready sometimes to do the work that might take some time. We are so programmed in our culture to get things quickly. And I feel like that's just a waste of your time and money, because it's not actually going to support change. Most of the time, those things are temporary. And I really feel like that's been the biggest thing with us sharing this program, is the people that go through it have change and they're ready for it. There's two different types of people in the world. We talk about this in the program, that there are some of us that really just want the answers, someone to answer it for us. We want the doctor to tell us what to do, and we want that personal trainer to tell us exactly what to do. And that type of mindset and looking at the world is actually very helpful. If you're really busy and you have, very busy in your business or with your family, you need someone to map out things exactly for you. We can do that with Mind Body Detox, with working with our practitioners one-on-one. But really what creates empowerment over the long run is not giving your power away to someone else. Definitely going to someone for guidance with a health change or diet, or your doctor that needs to support you with pharmaceuticals or whatever. But in the long run, the space that we are afraid to go within ourselves, for the most part, is meditation, or connecting with ourselves, or journaling, or really asking questions to ourselves, versus giving our power away to someone else and saying, hey, they're going to tell us what to do. They'll tell me exactly what to do to make the answers and fix everything for me. That's actually it perpetuates powerlessness in our culture, because if someone else doesn't have the answer and they can't fix us, then a lot of times we either blame them, we get angry, or say it didn't work and that was a bunch of waste of my money. And I looked at this and I go, well, the answer is for us to figure out, how do we become a partner or a team with our healthcare wellness professionals, whoever they are? How do we tune into our body and to ourself and cultivate a foundation of really good, healthy self-care, whatever that looks like for us, so that we can truly have that awareness of how to move forward, that connection with our intuition that is coupled with logic and blood panels or whatever might need to be looked at. So we have a full holistic picture of what's going on. And obviously, when we talked about at the beginning, what makes the program different is we have the 7 foundations of wellness, which we talk about our chi and our energy flow. And we can then look at those things, and we can integrate those in and have this self-awareness that we may not have had before about how we can shift things. All right. The next question that we often get is, okay, I adhere to a specific faith. How does the program support my personal religion or spirituality? So, yes, I'm a psychic medium, and yes, I read auras, and yes, I talk to people who have crossed over, but that doesn't come up in the program. That's not something that is pushed onto our clientele. It's something that I find that there is in the realm of what I do. There are a lot of different perspectives on philosophy and even type of language and lingo that's used. And I think that does a disservice sometimes, because it limits the potential for people, because really everything is energy. And when I look at this and I see it in people, it doesn't have a religion, it doesn't have a specific entity or god or goddess or whatever. It is just energy. So just like meditation and mindfulness is not associated with any religion necessarily. I mean, yes, meditation is a part of Buddhist tradition in that religion, but it can be done without having to adhere to someone else's religion. It can actually support your own personal religion or spirituality. I think that the biggest gift that we've seen in this program is we've had people who have come from many different backgrounds. Some people who are Catholic, atheist, Christians, even we had a retired pastor that have come to do the program, that in the program they're with so many different people that are outside of their maybe personal spiritual religion or faith, that we begin to see throughout the program, looking at and educating ourselves and each other about these 7 foundations of our energy balance and wellness. We start to see that you strip away all these labels, you strip away all the things to realize that what makes us each human uniquely is all the same. And it doesn't matter what our religion or spirituality is, but we can apply our personal religious or spiritual beliefs to the program's foundational 7 now 7 foundations for wellness. So I think it's really, really cool. Some people ask me, well, are you going to integrate like some of these metaphysical things? And I don't know if I want any of that, like crystals. And are you going to talk about that? I'm like, well, those are options for people who are interested, because we want to address people where they're at. You know, if you're someone that, for you, part of your foundation for finding your purpose and meaning is connecting to your spirituality. If you're Catholic, hey, we need to connect with you with whatever your weekly, daily, whatever your spiritual faith needs for a routine to help you get connected with your higher power. And that may involve you getting a new set of rosary or connecting, going to some more groups with your particular church. So I feel like that's an important thing to say, because some people will come to me and they say, I want to come to your program, but I don't believe in psychic mediums. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's really important to put that out there. But when people do work with me privately, one-on-one, I do use my intuitive gifts to work with people to help support them along their journey, and also very respectful about what they want and what they don't want. I think that's one thing that it's important for anyone you work with professionally, not to push their own personal spiritual or religious beliefs onto you. The next one is, I don't want to be involved in a group. Is there an option to complete the coursework solo? Yeah, absolutely. The basic foundation for the program was built upon a group setting. We've had the accountability and the support that's so foundational to the program. It has been amazing and miraculous to see the connections people make, where they basically see, even in a diverse setting, different backgrounds, different age group, different religious, different economic, socioeconomic status, people have come through and go, wow, we're all the same. Wow. And it's very supportive and healing to their process in the Mind Body Detox. But some people aren't ready. I know some of us have been through maybe challenges in group settings. Maybe we're shy, or we're introverted, or we've been in a group where we've been judged, or we feel nervous or intimidated about that, or we have social anxiety. You can absolutely do the coursework solo. You don't have to be in a group. Or now we have this great option of being online, and that's a little bit easier sometimes. So you can come into an online space without having to break the ice or talk to anyone, and you can observe and still be there on the sidelines and participate if you choose. So that's what we have now since the program has evolved since 2013. We've been running this program. We've been able to now have an online option, and it's not always one-on-one or in a group with people. I'm nervous about, or I'm not good at journaling or meditation. Will the program still work for me? I've had so many people say, I just can't meditate, because part of the program, we have options for guided meditations. They're very supportive to introspective work, to looking at some of these 7 foundations of your energy and seeing where things are coming up for you. And it's not necessary. You don't have to. You don't have to be an expert at meditation. You don't even have to do the meditations, which is really interesting. People say to me, what do you mean? I can go through the program and I can choose to just do the journal entries, and I don't have to do any of the food or recipes or smoothie or the meditations? I'm like, yep, And they're like, and I'll still have results. I'm like, yep. That's the part that I found so amazing over the last 10 years, that when people are in this, we call it a container. We're in the container of Mind Body Detox. If you're in that container, you're watching, we have little videos every day that bring up questions. They ask questions, they get you curious, they get you thinking. And that thinking is like in the Matrix. Have you ever seen the movie The Matrix? It's like the red pill or the blue pill. You're taking the blue pill. You're taking the blue pill. I think it's the blue pill, right? Where you go outside of the matrix and you basically are never the same. By asking these certain questions to you, that gets you thinking and curious and inquiring within yourself. Once you ask that question, you can't unask it. And then you're aware of something in yourself that you weren't before. And I always say in the program that when you are aware of a pattern or behavior, once you're aware of it, you eventually will change it. You may not right away, but you can't change something that you're not aware of that is there. And so that's why a lot of times when people fall off the wagon with weight loss, or they try to go to the gym and exercise, or they try to reach financial goals or find their soulmate or make more money, all of these things are so common for people to not be able to get to that goal, or constantly falling off the wagon. And the answer is within. The answer is, how do you ask these certain questions that will prompt you to look at how you may be blocking this from a mind perspective, a mental perspective, mindset, or maybe just your energy, or maybe the actual routine you have or don't have when it comes to sleep, diet, which affects your energy and your mood, all these things. How are those physical things maybe affecting you from being able to reach your goals monetarily, or in your business, or your spiritual goals, or all those things? So I always just tell you, if you have concerns about, I don't like to journal, it makes me nervous, or I don't know if I'm good at meditating, you don't have to do any of those things and it still will work, because you're still being prompted and asking questions to yourself that opens up a whole different perspective on yourself and the world. And that creates lasting change. I'm an empath or a highly sensitive person. Can the program help me? Well, to be honest, that this program is actually created for empaths and highly sensitive people. I originally created it for those people only, because that's who I am. As a psychic medium and as a highly sensitive, highly intuitive person, I was not only stuck in bed, I couldn't leave my house because I was very sensitive to energy. I got information anywhere I went. It was just like being at a rock concert every day, 24/7 when I would go out. Go to the grocery store, trying to just get my groceries, and feeling the pain physically or emotionally from that person walking by, or picking up a box on the cereal aisle and feeling the energy of the person who stalked that box. This is a little extreme example, but a lot of people I work with are highly empathic or highly sensitive, and they are sensitive to the emotional energy of people around them. They absorb a lot of that stuff. And I made this program for them because along my journey to being able to strengthen my energy, strengthen so that I don't have to absorb all that stuff, I had to go through a lot of changes: mental, mindset, spiritual, and physical, diet, sleep, routine, self-care, all those things. And the program is really made for them. But what I found along the way is people who were not sensitive, were not empathic, and weren't highly sensitive or intuitive joined the program and loved it. And then they were like, this is crazy. I am more spiritually connected and more intuitive than I've ever been after this program. I'm like, wow. So it seems to help people who are highly sensitive or empathic learn to manage their sensitivity, and people who want to connect more in that way to open that part of themselves up. So that's pretty cool. I was so grateful because, again, this is made for those people. But I found that I have to open up who I'm sending the message to come join the program, because it's obviously not just for them, because we've seen so many results of people who are not considering themselves highly empathic or sensitive. Next question. I am very busy. What happens if I don't complete the coursework and fall behind? Okay, so this is the most common thing that people worry about. I have to say that I was a single mom running a business, seeing 25 plus clients a week, and also cooking my own meals every week. And let's just say I could go on about how busy I was. And one of my concerns as a recovering perfectionist, when I would do a coursework or sign up for something, was the same concern. I don't want to start something if I can't complete it, or I'm going to feel like a failure if I can't do every day the things and do it right or do it to its full completion. Well, we have a lot of recovering perfectionists that come into this program, and we talk a lot about how self sabotage comes up and creeps in and usually stops us from starting the very thing that would help us the most because of that fear or because of the desire or the feeling of needing to be perfect and get it all done exactly as we think it should be done. Then we over extend our energy and then become tired and drained and then give up and fall off the wagon. And that's what seemed to be happening. People would do the program the first week. They're like, I did it 100%. I feel so good about myself. They'd get busy, start to fall off the coursework. Then they'd feel guilty, self-induced guilt or shame when they'd come to the group or come online and feel like, I don't really feel like I know exactly what's going on. I do, but I'm behind 3 days. And then the guilt would start putting people in a mindset that then they would start eating their sugar or smoking more of their cigarettes or whatever it is that they're looking to overcome. They just sabotage it. So one of the things we talk about is that all emotions in the program, all the emotions that we have are there for a reason. All of them. There's no negative emotion. We only give it a negative connotation because of how it feels. It feels uncomfortable. And so we work with how do we look at what the emotion we have is, what's the supporting factor, how does it support us to move past what we're looking to move past and reach our goals. And one of those emotions is shame and guilt. And so that emotion we can work with, and we talk a lot about being aware of when we compare. In the program, there is no judgment. There's nobody hanging over your shoulder, making sure that you do every single day completely. We're not going to read your journals and say, can you please tell us what page 7 looks like? Did you actually do this journal entry? That's not how the program is. So I want to make sure that everyone's aware of that, because a lot of times people do the coursework, and especially if they're in the 8-week program, the full Mind Body Detox program, they'll get to week 3 and they'll skip 4 or 5 days and go, I just didn't do any of it. I have to go back and say, no, just keep going. Because for my journey and my old facilitator for this program, Candy Nicholson, one of the modules for the program was one that we really struggled with, even in our own personal lives, that we struggled with that module so much that every time we would do the program ourselves, we would get to that week. For some weird reason, we'd get very busy and we couldn't do it. Or we'd try to do the journal prompts and we couldn't. Or we'd try to integrate the recipes or the meditation and we would just blank out. Some part of our energy, some part of our being, some part of us mentally, psychologically, whatever you want to say, was not ready to address that part of our life. These 7 foundations of wellness don't come all overnight. So that's why the program is really beautiful, because it's done over and over again. People do it as a lifestyle. They say, oh my gosh, I really got module 3 down. I'm feeling really good in it. My energy is so much different. My digestive issues are gone. Now I need to work on this module because I'm overthinking still. I still have issues with head tension and headaches and sleep issues. And I want to address that with the foods, with the meditations, with the journal prompts, with the things that address that foundational energy imbalance. And so there is, again, no falling behind. It's always exactly what you need at that time, at that round of the program. You do it. And that's the best thing about the program. You can do it as many times as you want. And that's what we like it, because it's something that's a lifestyle, and it continues to help you grow, no matter if you're new to any diet, lifestyle change, or if you're new to any of the holistic world of tools for self-care or healing. It doesn't matter. You could be a seasoned veteran and say, I've gone through yoga teacher training and I've done this and I've done that. And this can be completely foundationally a game changer for you. I had a client in the past that she's a yoga teacher, and she went through training to learn about the chakra system and chakra yoga and more about the energy system. And she said, I learned more in this program than I did in my entire school, or my training for school, when it comes to the energy field and chakras. Now, again, those things, we talk about the foundations of those and the philosophy, but we talk about it on a broader scale, because that's just one particular culture's take, the chakra system. It's just one particular culture's take on the energy field. But what about Chinese medicine? Acupuncture, meridian points, we've heard about that, right? That's part of the energy system too. What about prana? What about chi? What about even people talk about Reiki and that being an energy? energy is energy. We just give it different labels. And so we talk about this from the foundation of the physical nervous system, because across the board, we don't have to have some Eastern tradition philosophy to understand that we have a stomach and we have a solar plexus nerve bundles, a nerve bundle, the nerve bundles of our, the solar plexus nerve bundle that's in our stomach area, that is affected by our energy. Most common example of us experiencing energy in the body and experiencing the nervous system reacting to our mind mental state is feeling nervous about a new date or a date we're going on, or feeling nervous about a new job or whatever, feeling nervous or anxiety, and we get butterflies in our stomach. That's a common mind body symptom. Mentally, we're feeling a certain way. We may not consciously be mentally aware of it, but our body might be telling us. And what happens? The nerve bundle in the solar plexus starts to become overactive. We start to experience symptoms in the stomach, butterflies, indigestion, whatever it is, nausea. And then that affects our physical function of our digestion. We're not wanting to eat. We might not digest our food very well. But we can have a chronic symptom of that, of anxiety, or feeling that that mental state is affecting us from our digestive system on a regular basis. So we can shift that through shifting the mental aspect of ourselves. But I feel like that's the most common example of us experiencing what we call energy. It's common. We just don't always associate it like, oh, that's energy? Cool. Yeah, okay, I can understand that. So what we want to do with the 7 foundations of the program is have people, through the examples we give, remember a time or experience a time, in the current state that we're training. How do you feel energy in the body? What does it feel like when it's overactive or underactive? Where do you feel it? What part of your body do you feel it? So you could talk about chakras, you could talk about chi, acupuncture, meridians. We talk about those things, but the foundation is our physiological body, because no matter what your background is, no matter if you're into Eastern tradition or not, we all have a physical body, and we all can agree that, this is my shoulder, this is my stomach, and point to it, and we have labels for that. So we use that as the foundation to train and educate about how the energy system affects that part of that part of the body, and what characteristics that we're experiencing that will create an overactivity or underactivity in the nervous system that will affect the body or the mind, and then we have thus the mind-body connection. So don't worry about falling behind, because again, everything happens for a reason. I'm interested in reaching some big health goals. Are there any additional support available? So some of our clients have some maybe chronic issues, autoimmune conditions, longstanding physical pain, longstanding anxiety, longstanding issues with grief, or other issues that they're looking to address, maybe longstanding fluctuations in weight. And they're like, I really have some big goals I've been trying to reach. Is this program going to help? And how can I utilize it to the best of my ability? We usually recommend people, if so for first time going through the program, to go through the 7-day program. It's, the easiest way to get started, get a focus, and have an understanding with what the program will be. And then if they're like, I really want to go deeper, we do have them do the 8-week program and to work with us one-on-one. That's a VIP situation where we're customizing things. We meet with you for a 90-minute plus. It's actually a very long intake. We have like 20-page intake to go over all of your health history, like things that you wouldn't normally be asked at a doctor, that more of a functional doctor would ask. So we're looking at background. What are you eating? What's going on? Because we want to look at all the pieces holistically. We don't want to say, okay, you have these 3 symptoms. Here's your pill. Here's your 3 exercises or whatever you need to do that will fix it. No, we need to look at it from a perspective of how your history of your health and your life has transpired. And then we go into either referring you to some of our practitioners that we have, or outside, or both. And so that could look like getting blood panels to specifically look at nutritional deficiencies. That could be working with a psychotherapist as well. It could be working with one of our psychotherapists that's more well-versed in energy medicine and working with more of the spiritual aspect of shifting your mindset, or letting go of grief, or maybe creating a sort of a ceremony for you to let go of something in your life. So we have, again, all these different tools that we use, and we want to customize it to you. So if you have big health goals and you are looking to really overcome those things and they've been long-standing, yes, you can definitely get some huge shifts with the program, but we recommend the VIP because that's where we can customize it even further specifically to you, especially if you need some guidance with where to go. All right, so this is the most common question we have. When people ask, I want to do the mind body detox. I get it that I can focus on physical things that are bothering me, mental things or spiritual things. I have so many things I want to detox from. I don't know where to start. What's interesting is usually we get people to narrow it down to 3 things. If you could pick 3 things right now that would change your life in the biggest way, is it diet? Is it sleep? Is it mindset? Is it your mood? Is it your energy? You're tired, you're fatigued. What is it that would shift things in a very incredible way? Well, what is that? What is the thing you've been putting off the longest that needs to be addressed? Because sometimes that's the thing that we would focus on. So we really will help people when we do one-on-one or for VIP to help them to determine where they want to detox from. And when we do the online group and the 7-day program, we do a group coaching where we get out. We have some worksheets that we work on together to help you identify what is it that we should work with detoxing from first. We do have an assessment that I'm going to put in the comments. Actually, I'll stick this in the comments so you guys can access this. Let's see here. I'm going to share the link for you guys. We have a assessment that I created because I think since this question was so common, I was like, okay, how do we give people something that will help them with these questions distinguish like what area of my life maybe needs a detox the most first? Is it mental or is it more physical or is it more spiritual? So you can take that test. I put it in the comments there. You can go to that link and follow that link and it will take you through some questions and give you an idea. Okay, yeah, I think a physical detox is the most beneficial for you at this time. So that's something that can be helpful for you to answer that question. I'm doing so far so good, guys. The rainbows are gone and they're not blinding me in my face now. But if you do want some general ideas of, is a mental or spiritual detox good for you at this time? If you have any of these symptoms, mental clutter or ruminating, negativity, if you have toxic surroundings or people, if you feel like the people in your life bring you down, whether it's their mindset, their attitude, the way they behave, the way they treat you, that can also be a time to call for, let's reevaluate our relationships and our boundaries and what we need to do about that. Feelings of powerlessness, self-sabotage or procrastination, that's common, very, very common. You're not alone with that one. If you're lacking creativity, faith, or trust, whether it's in yourself, you're lacking trust in yourself or the world, or if you just want to have more faith or trust in, a higher power to let go. Sometimes people have a hard time. They want to control the world and they feel powerless because they always feel like no matter what they do, it's still the world is against them. A lot of times the missing piece to that is, of course, setting up a game plan. Are you doing everything possible to change your journey and change your life, getting the support you need? But then sometimes it's just letting go and having faith and trust in a higher power. And that's a game changer for people. People don't even realize that. And even if you're an atheist, there are people that don't believe in God. We find some way that we can work with them to help them have a sense of trust in the world. Because when you have that sense of trust in the world, your energy shifts, your energy changes, and you start seeing things around you change. People treat you differently. And it's a huge shift. If you have low energy or mental fatigue, you're tired, you're feeling like you have brain fog, or you have a hard time paying attention or focusing, that can be something that is very common for people, time for a mental or spiritual detox. Or if you're sensitive to your environment. This is if you're sensitive to energy, if you're sensitive to lighting, sounds, overstimulation, or even if you're sensitive to chemicals or toxins or fabric softeners or allergies of some sort, something that can be supported by the mental detox. I can't tell you how many people I've met that have done all the things. They're taking all the supplements, they're doing all the allergy treatments, they've gone and see the doctors, they're on these types of medications, and their immune system is so overreactive because of their stress and their anxiety and the mental mindset that they've carried for years. They don't ever see the connection between sensitivity to substances or smells or scents or fabric softeners or whatever it is in the environment and their mindset that's affecting the immune system and the body. And that can be a sign for that mental spiritual detox. It can also go the other way around, that detoxing your diet or maybe some of the personal care items you have, getting rid of excess toxins that might be in your environment can then lessen eczema or rashes or sensitivities to smell or things like that. So it can go both ways. It really depends on where you're at as a person. So the benefits of a mental or spiritual detox, we see people, surprisingly, they have an increased intuition and increased positive mental outlook. I love hearing when people feel like they find their purpose. I love this. This is something, if you're out there and you're watching, you've been through the Mind Body Detox, I'd love to just honor you because so many people have gone through this program. I feel like 90% of the people that go through this program go, I know why I'm here. I know what I'm supposed to do. And they're helpers of some capacity. A lot of times they're here to help the world, whether it's plants or animals or the elderly or the children. They have some common feeling of I'm going to help and change the world. And then they're doing it. And I was just like, this is so cool to see people pursuing their purpose. So I think that's a really great benefit of really getting out of your own way mentally and also energetically, spiritually detoxing your world. There's an increased sense of caring for self and others, self-confidence and empowerment. We have an improvement in self-confidence, increased creativity, feeling of being supported. And I like this last one. Like, again, people are manifesting their dreams. What is it that the common thing we ask people is, if you had all the time, money, energy, resources, love, and support that you need in the world, what would you be doing? Most people answer, I'd be traveling. I'm like, okay, cool. But when you're done traveling, you get tired of that. What would you be doing? And people go, well, this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. And then they go and they do it. So when people get in touch with that, they make a plan and they work with overcoming the mental barriers, the spiritual barriers, even the physical barriers to manifesting or creating, whatever word you want to use, creating the life that they want to live. So that's always fun. I feel so proud of these people and all the people who've been through the program who are doing that. They make me feel so grateful because this program isn't just affecting the lives of a few, it's affecting the lives of many. Because when people shift their world, they shift the energy of those around them. And that changes the world and it ripples out. It's so beautiful. Signs for a physical detox. If you have cravings or addictions, if you crave sugar, carbs, coffee, if you're craving to be on the internet and scroll and you need to be on your Instagram or your Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is, shopping. If you crave drama, sometimes people are addicted to drama. They don't even realize it. There's so many things that we can have cravings for. Again, that can be signs for a physical detox because your body then is recycling neurotransmitters and different chemicals that your body, hormones and chemicals your body creates, not just through mental mindset, but also through what you're putting in your body that can perpetuate addictions. And sometimes cravings, like I said before, are actually signs of deficiencies in minerals or nutrients. So sometimes people are like, I've been fighting this sugar addiction for so many years. Okay, maybe you're deficient in A, B, C, or D. And also, let's look at the cravings and related to the emotional component of emotional eating for sugar. What's going on with that? That's a big piece of it. We don't always look at that. Excess weight is obviously a sign for physical detox too. Did you know that a lot of times when our body can't detoxify through our organs of detoxification, liver, colon, kidneys, sweating, that if we can't detoxify and the body's been so overloaded with toxins, whether it's through chemicals or pesticides or unhealthy food, whatever it is, if our body cannot detox those substances, it doesn't know what to do with it. It wants to get it out of the bloodstream so it doesn't damage the brain and the organs, and it puts it in a fat cell. If it's in a fat cell, it's away from our vital organs. It's been protected, that particular toxin, from affecting us further. So excess weight can be a sign of toxicity. I know for me, I didn't change my diet, but I detoxed certain chemicals and I looked at eating cleaner, even though I was still eating not very well. Back when I started out as 260 pounds, so I was very heavy. And so when I did that, I lost a lot of weight just through detoxing and eating cleaner. It didn't even have to eat less food. I wasn't counting calories or doing any of that. And so that's the really cool magic about excess weight. It could be just what you're eating, not how much. I mean, how much does involve in certain cases, of course, but it's just an interesting fact that most people don't know. Inflammation or pain can be absolutely a sign for physical detox. You can have inflammation, chronic inflammation, or pain from in the body because of foods you're eating or things that you have in your diet, substances or things you're encountering that are toxins in the environment. Digestive issues, blood pressure, emotional imbalance or hormone imbalance can also be a sign. We have so many hormone disruptors in our environment, in our diet, that can affect our hormones. And then we don't understand why we have to get on a new pill or get to adjust our birth control or something else. And we don't understand that it is the hormonal system that's being hijacked potentially by our diet. Low energy or sleep difficulties, that absolutely can be a sign for physical detox. And skin health, rashes, acne, rosacea, things like that can be signs that you'll be beneficial for a physical detox. And of course, the benefits are increased energy, decreased pain. You can reset your metabolism. I like the slowing premature aging thing. So my son said to me the other day, he's 16, and of course he's like, oh, everything's not cool. You're embarrassing. You know, all that whole things teenagers go through, everything. They treat their parents differently. But he said to me, it was the most amazing compliment for my 16-year-old to say to me. He goes, Mom, you look younger now than you looked when I was like 5 or 6. And we looked at pictures and I was like, you're absolutely right. I went to drop him off on Halloween at a friend's house, and his friends, when they met me, they thought I was his sister. Which was really cool. So I've definitely seen clients of mine, and I've seen other people that slow premature aging, and they look younger through, doing a physical detox of some sort. So that's really cool. Obviously, I said about hormones being imbalanced. You can balance those and restore the body system with a physical detox. Eliminate cravings, which is absolutely a thing. I don't crave sugar anymore, guys. True thing, true story. It is actually possible. Enhance immune system function, and then improve your quality of life and peace of mind. All right, getting to the end here, and then we'll open up for questions. So the biggest thing that holds us back, I feel like after years of doing this program, this is the biggest thing, is self-sabotage. And it shows up in procrastination, perfectionism, overextending ourselves. Sometimes self-sabotage actually shows up as the person that I'm going to do the new program 125% and go gung-ho and be like so into it that we fall off the wagon later. We can't make it sustainable. That's actually a form of self-sabotage. We can get distracted. We can be a people pleaser, and then we sabotage our own goals or what we want. We can be someone that runs away from challenge, that is overwhelming and overstimulating to us, and we get anxiety. So then we avoid whatever it is that might be discomfort or uncomfortable that will get us to reach our goals. Again, these goals could be physical, emotional, mental, financial, relationship, whatever goals. The foundation for blocking our life journey and us not overcoming whatever it is self-sabotage. It's the biggest thing. And so we address it in the week 3 of the Mind Body Detox program. But I created a little mini program because I found that people were having so much of a struggle with it that they needed to do that as well, or first, or continue to work on that before they start any lifestyle change. And I thought, yeah, no matter what people do, if it's a program that we create or somewhere else, if you can overcome self-sabotage and be aware of where it shows up in your life, you have the keys to the kingdom. Then you can do whatever you need to do because you have awareness now of where it shows up and how you can over time kick it in the butt. So I think self-sabotage is a huge one. There's a podcast episode that we have on our website that I'm going to give you a link as well. And it is episode 26. So I did an episode on common ways that we do self-sabotage. So that's something that if you not like, I don't want to do a course on that, I'm not interested, that's fine. There's still a podcast there. So it's episode 26. I put the link there in the comments. So absolutely check that out. You can look at the Mind Body Detox podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts too. But whatever way you get there, it's on episode 26. So I really encourage you to listen to that or check that out, because we don't start a program. We don't do anything. We sit here and it's like, what are we, close to New Year's again? And then we don't make any changes, or we say we're going to do it next week or whatever. Or we say, I just don't have enough energy. I'll wait till I have energy. I'll wait till this works out. I'm too busy at work. I'll wait till the end of that happens. We'll wait till we feel more confident. or we don't have the time or money, or we're just too stressed. So there's like all these excuses, and I feel like I've done that. And so many, I still do that. There's certain things that I have to look at self-sabotage and see where it comes up for me. And then I go, okay, I see you. We're not doing that anymore. But it's important to know that it's not something that when you overcome it, it's gone. Sometimes it's completely gone. It's still like when you go to, say you go to the town you grew up in and you're driving past your old elementary school. You're going to still, as you're driving past elementary school, for the most part, are you going to remember memories of being on the playground or whatever happened to you there, good or bad? Those still may come up. It's the same thing with any pattern. It's not that, okay, I'm done with that. I no longer have sugar, or I no longer am self-sabotaging, or I no longer deal with negative people. As you become more aware, you're just driving past that playground and having memories and going, cool, I'm going to keep driving right past. It's the same thing with self-sabotage. I got a goal. I'm looking to, do this or that. And I'm seeing self-sabotage come up in the rearview mirror, but it's not going to make me turn around and sabotage what I'm trying to do. I'll give you the example. We're launching a new online community, and one of my old patterns for self-sabotage is perfectionism. And if it wasn't perfect, I wouldn't do it or put it out there. And this is a great, experience that for me, self-sabotage comes up. It's there looking at me in the rearview mirror, and it's like, this is going to have some issues. With launching anything, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have some things you're going to have to fix. I'm like, okay, doesn't make me stop from doing it because it's going to help a lot of people. We need this. So just an example, I think one of the things that people think when they see me talking, or we're talking about this program, they think that I've got it all together. I'm like, I got a lot of things together. I'm very proud of myself in a very healthy way of all the things I've overcome, all the things my clients have overcome through doing this program. But there's still new things for me to explore and new things for us to go through. We might get our health and our diet together and we're like, I want to work out at the gym more, or I want to improve my relationships personally or my finances. There's always something new to explore. And these principles, the foundations of energy management, can be applied to all of them. And that's why I love the program so much and I live it. It's my lifestyle. And that's why we have so many people that want to do it over and over and over again. So the self-sabotage is the biggest thing. So just kind of be aware of that. If you have any interest in listening to that podcast episode, I encourage you to. I have some pictures here, and someone asked me recently, do you have pictures of other people before and after? And I'm like, well, not a lot of people wanted to share them. Not a lot of people wanted to do a lot of before and after photos. And over time, I know we have some people in these photos, I won't point them out without their permission, that not only they've lost weight, one of them was widowed and they no longer were in relationship. They were hoarding things. They had a hard time letting go of stuff. There were some people that had a hard time getting rid of McDonald's. They wanted to stop eating McDonald's. That was it. That was all they wanted to detox from. There's some people that were really good at their self-care and they wanted to start eating better or eating more organically. We had some people that wanted to clear up their skin. So all these people in these pictures, you have so many different examples of what they wanted to detox from, their mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects they wanted to change in their life. And they're all so different and it's so colorful. And with some of these mental, emotional, and spiritual changes, there's not always before and after pictures you can take other than, hey, the light in their eyes is turned on. They look brighter. They're vital. You can see it being around them that they're different. And so the common examples at the very top was just examples of myself from being 260 pounds, having cystic acne, in my late 20s, which you shouldn't have at that age, being depressed. And, I go into my journey and share about that in the 7-day refresh. I don't want to bore you with my journey, but we want to share a little bit about what I've been through and some of the other participants. And we do that in the 7-day and the full Mind Body Detox program to give you a fuller background and understanding of where we've all come from and how this has supported us. But these are just some of the general amazing people who have gone through the program. They're just from so many different walks of life, backgrounds, ages, and just so you can see that's pictured here. So what exactly happens in the program? This is the biggest question. You're probably like, okay, I want to know what's going to happen. So really you're going to get to choose something that you want to detox from. And we will have a live webinar and some handouts you get to print out you'll be able to fill out as we walk through it in a group coaching session. So we'll do something live like this. And we will talk about what is it that you want to detox for the 7-day refresh. And we'll complete that. And there's some really cool questions to help you figure out and determine what's the biggest thing you want to get rid of or look at or alleviate during that 7 days. And then each day you'll have access to the course content. There is a daily video, there's a guided meditation, there is downloadable tracking sheets that people can choose to utilize if they wish. They can try the smoothie recipes and some of the food if they want to, but you don't have to. There is access to morning and evening check-ins. That's one way that we can sometimes be accountable. If you want to ask questions live, I will be there morning and evening every single day to check in and see how everyone's doing. And then in the webinars, that there are 2 live at the beginning and at the end, I'll go over information in a little slideshow like this and explain a little bit more about the foundations of energy and the journey that some of these people have been through and some of the common things you'll experience. And then we'll talk about the community. The online community is where we get to connect. And this is for 7 days in our online community for Firefly Hollow. You get to be on there, connect with other people who are on the same journey. And we get to, of course, have some amazing prizes. I don't think I mentioned prizes. We have some really great prizes for people who are on there and engaging and connecting. And that's something I'm so excited to give away prizes. I love that. And then, of course, the program is a lifestyle. Like I always say that people end up doing the 7 days. And they're like, this is so cool. I want to do the 7 days again and again and again. You'll have access to the 7-day course content. You can go through the same journal prompts 70 different times with a different toxin. So, for example, one of the journal prompts, you could say, I'm looking to eliminate sugar this time. The journal prompt will prompt you to ask a question to yourself and explore it, whether you write it down or not. Some people don't like to journal. And I say, just think about it. Or just record yourself talking into a recorder on your phone. Or just think about it on your drive to work, whatever it is. That question brings up different answers depending if they're looking to detox from sugar, or the next time they say, I really want to work on getting better sleep and I'm not knowing why I procrastinate going to sleep and stay up so late and, on my phone scrolling. What's the root of that? Why do I keep doing that? I know I need to do better. What's going on there? So it's really cool that the same questions, the same exact journal prompts can take you down a completely different path. And so I love that. That's very supportive in the program, that it does create the program being a lifestyle that you can continually use for the rest of your life. And of course, the community that's built around it, we support each other, we inspire each other, and we create that connection that we can feel normal as humans as we go through these ups and downs with our struggles, with overcoming some of these toxins, what we call toxins, these things we want to get rid of. And it's just really nice to have that ongoing support after the program. So I encourage you to ask questions at this time. You can always call us. You can visit our website if you want to register for the 7-day free refresh. I can give you that information too. And you can also schedule a free consultation. I do free phone consultations that are 15 minutes. That's very helpful for people who are not sure if they're ready to do the program or if it's right for them. So I'm going to share in the comments first. If you want to sign up for the 7-day refresh, it's absolutely free. It's going to be online. There's the link. You can go to our website and you can sign up. It should be at the top of the page. And if you're watching this in the replay and it says like a couple months later, it won't be at the top of the page, but we will have access to that. And I will share a link if you guys are interested in doing a private. I think I have a link. I'll put that in here. If you want to do a private 15-minute phone consult with me, that can be helpful for some people who want to know a little bit more or want to go into some specifics for them. So if you have any questions at this time, you can put them in the chat. I'll stay on here for a couple more minutes. Maybe share a couple more things while I'm giving you some time to type, because I know with the live stream, it lags a little bit. So what I'm saying now may not get to you for another minute or 30 seconds or something like that. When people work with us privately, so the 7-day refresh is free. It's online completely. The 8-week program runs throughout the year, and that program is online or in person. So if you are doing an in-person group, if you're local, you're able to do that. If you're not, we do an online one. So we have 2 different groups that we run, and there is a group that is working personally with us practitioners. So the guided group is really great because we get to go through and share, and we get to connect with the community. And then the VIP group is you get private sessions, an intake consultation that includes a medical intuitive reading with myself, where we do an energy screening. We talk about what's going on in the imbalance in your energy. And then I give you some awareness of that and some tools, and even refer you to either a doctor or a practitioner if you need that supports you along that journey. And then we come up with a game plan for what your 7-week detox is going to be. And then throughout the 8 weeks, I'm sorry, I said 7 weeks, it's 8 weeks. Throughout the 8 weeks, I meet with everyone on a weekly basis, privately, either online via Zoom or in person. And we work with all the tools that I have to offer, as well as my Mind Body Detox coaches. You may not work with me, you might choose to work with a different coach. But we work with a lot of different tools that could be life coaching. It could be diet if we need to go into that and you're interested in that. Could be energy medicine. I do an acupuncture without needles modality called color puncture, which is very supportive for releasing patterns and behaviors and even overthinking. That's a really great mind-body connection tool to experience. I love that people experience before and after like such a difference in using that modality. We work with custom meditations if we need to do that. Massage and body work. Some people are struggling with chronic pain and they've never had a therapeutic medical grade massage that can help with maybe some post-surgery or post-car accident or long-standing posture holding. We look at the physical posture and how we can address and alleviate those things. Because one example that I see is that people when we carry low self-esteem, our body patterns and our posture shifts. And so if we're feeling down or we're feeling depressed, we hunch our shoulders more, and that tightens and congests and constricts the front of the body. And that affects the flow of energy. It affects the flow of our tissue. Our tissue can get tight in our chest. That can contribute to neck and shoulder pain and low back pain and all these things we don't even realize. That physical body work and releasing through a medical grade type of massage or therapeutic massage, that can be very supportive in releasing the pattern in the physical body. And then we address the mental aspect too of how can we work with what do you need to raise your self-esteem and really feel good about you, so that that pattern of holding the body doesn't move back into that. So we're not doing a push-pull where you're getting massages every month, but then you go back to this pattern of, I feel, or you're protecting yourself, on an unconscious level. We protect and hold and guard our body from whatever we've been through. Maybe it's trauma or we feel not safe in the world. So there's so many cool things we talk about in this program, how the mind and body is connected, and the physical aspect. If you are local, getting body work is also included in that VIP. You can absolutely get that as well as working with coaching and all the other custom tools that we would create for you. So thank you guys for joining us. I'm so grateful. We're so excited for this new launch of the online community. If you want to join that 7-day detox, it is free. All you need is an internet connection. You can do it on your phone or on your PC, and you can sign up on the website link that I shared. And when you sign up, we will be sending out an email that will give you the access to the online platform. So we are launching this platform on January 1st. It is not launched yet. That's why if you signed up and said, I didn't get a link yet, it's because we didn't launch the platform yet. We are waiting till the new year, and you can get that link and sign on and get in there. And then we'll be able to have access to our first live webinar together, show you around and show you where you get your course materials and your handouts and watch your videos, all the cool stuff, and how you connect with the community throughout that 7 day in the week. So have a wonderful new year, everyone. And if you have any questions or want to reach out and have a private consult, feel free to do so. But be well until I see you guys again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.